My fiancé said, if you really loved me, you'd trust me completely. While refusing to explain why she was out till 4 a.m., I said, if you really loved me, you'd give me a reason to, and called off the wedding. She spent hours trying to clarify what she'd meant. I, 28 male, was sitting at the kitchen table with wedding invitations when my fiancée Natalie, 27, walked through the door at 4:13 a.m. We were supposed to mail these out next week. Wedding in 4 months. She froze when she saw me. Clearly wasn't expecting me to be awake. Hey, she said, trying for casual, failed miserably. It's past 4 a.m., Nat. I know, sorry. Lost track of time. Where were you? She walked to the fridge, grabbed water, wouldn't look at me. Out with the girls. You know how it is. Which girls? Why does it matter? Because it's 4 a.m. and you said you'd be home by midnight? She turned around and that's when she hit me with it. That manipulative little gem that would end everything. If you really loved me, you'd trust me completely. I set down the invitation I was holding. Our names in fancy script. Malcolm and Natalie. Forever. If you really loved me, I said slowly, you'd give me a reason to. The silence stretched between us. She broke it with a laugh. That dismissive, contemptuous sound I'd been hearing more often lately. Wow. Really? You're gonna need a detailed report every time I go out? No, I need an explanation when you come home at 4 a.m. with no text, no call, nothing. I don't need to explain myself to you, Malcolm. We're getting married, not entering a prison. You're right, we're not getting married. The water bottle stopped halfway to her mouth. What? I stood up, gathered the invitations into a neat pile. You heard me, wedding's off. You're joking? Over this? Because I stayed out late? No, because you think accountability is optional and you're using emotional manipulation instead of just answering a simple question. She slammed the bottle down. Emotional manipulation? I'm asking you to trust me. Trust is earned through transparency, not demanded through guilt trips. Oh my God, you're serious. Her face went from angry to panicked. Malcolm? Wait, let me clarify what I meant. No need, you were pretty clear. I walked to our bedroom. My bedroom, technically, since the apartment was mine from before we met. Started pulling her clothes from the closet. What are you doing? She followed me, voice rising. Helping you pack. Pack? You're kicking me out right now? It's 4 a.m. Ironic, right? Since that's apparently a normal time for you to be out and about. She spent the next 2 hours trying to clarify. The story changed every 20 minutes. She meant I should trust her judgment. She meant trust in general, not about tonight, specifically. She was testing our relationship strength. She didn't mean it that way. I was taking it out of context. Natalie, I finally said, exhausted. Just tell me where you were. That's not the point anymore. It's exactly the point. Fine. I was at Avalon, the new club, with Becca and Tori. Happy? I pulled out my phone, opened Instagram, showed her Becca's story from 1 a.m. Becca and Tori at some house party. No Natalie in sight, no club. Her face went white. They left early. I stayed with other people. Which other people? Why does it matter? God, this is exactly why I didn't want to tell you. You're so paranoid. I'm paranoid because you're lying. I'm not. She stopped. Regrouped. You know what? Yes, fine. I wasn't with them the whole time, but that doesn't mean I was doing anything wrong. Then why lie? Because of this reaction, this interrogation, I was done. Done with the circular logic. Done with the gaslighting. Done with all of it. You have until tomorrow afternoon to get your stuff. Stay with your parents tonight. Malcolm, please. The wedding is canceled. I'll handle the vendors. What will people think? And there it was. Not I love you. Not let's work this out. But what will people think? I honestly don't care. She tried tears next. Big, dramatic ones. 4 years, Malcolm. You're throwing away 4 years. No, you threw it away the moment you decided lying was easier than honesty. I handed her a bag with some essentials. She stood there, mascara running, still trying different angles. You'll regret this. No one else will put up with your trust issues. I was protecting you from unnecessary worry. This is why I need space sometimes. That last one almost made me laugh. Space. At 4 a.m., sure. As she finally left, she turned at the door. You're making the biggest mistake of your life. Maybe, but at least it's an honest mistake. She slammed the door. I sat back down at the table, looking at 150 wedding invitations we'd never send. My phone started buzzing immediately. Her mom, her sister, her best friend. I turned it off and went to bed. In 4 hours, I'd need to start calling vendors, but right now, I just needed sleep. The wedding was off. And honestly, I felt relief more than anything else. Update 1. The entitlement escalation has been incredible. Natalie went from, "you should trust me," to full-blown victim mode with a side of extortion. Day 1 woke up to 73 missed calls and over 200 texts. Not just from Natalie, but her entire cavalry. Her mom, Sandra, was the most persistent. "Malcolm, honey, Natalie is hysterical. Whatever happened, you two can work it out. Don't throw away your future over one fight." I texted back once, "Ask your daughter where she really was until 4 a.m. Then we can talk about futures." Radio silence from Sandra after that. But Natalie's sister, Jenna, wasn't so easily deterred. She actually showed up at my apartment at 7 a.m., banging on the door. "Malcolm, open up. We need to talk about this rationally." I opened the door but didn't let her in. "There's nothing to discuss, Jenna. You're destroying my sister over nothing. She went out with friends." Which friends? Because Becca and Tori were somewhere else entirely. Jenna's face did this interesting thing where she clearly knew more than she was saying. That's not the point. The point is trust. Exactly. And I don't trust liars. Goodbye, Jenna. Spent the morning calling vendors. The venue was understanding and refunded 60% of our deposit since we were outside the cutoff window. The caterer kept the deposit but canceled the rest. The photographer, remember him from my solo consultation? Was a bro about it. "Ah man, that sucks. Look, I'll refund everything except the booking fee. Done too many weddings where this should have happened and didn't. Good on you for having boundaries." Total financial hit, about $3,500. Worth every penny for dodging that bullet. Natalie was supposed to come get her stuff that afternoon. Instead, she sent movers. Professional movers. With a list. The list included all her clothes, fare, the TV, mine, bought 2 years before we met, the coffee maker, gift from my mom to me, half the kitchen items, even ones I owned before, the engagement ring, LOL. I told the movers they could take anything from the pre-approved pile I'd packed. Nothing else. They looked uncomfortable. "Ma'am said you'd be difficult," one guy muttered. "Ma'am lied about a lot of things." They took what I'd packed and left. 20 minutes later, Natalie called from her friend's phone. I'd blocked her number. "You kept my TV." "My TV? Bought it in 2019. Have the receipt." "We watched it together. That makes it ours." "That's not how ownership works." "And where's my ring? The ring I bought?" "That ring?" It was a gift. A conditional gift. No wedding, no ring. That's literally the law. "I'll sue you." "Cool. Let your lawyer know I have screenshots of you admitting to lying about where you were that night." Click. By day 2, Natalie had started her PR campaign. Facebook post about surviving emotional abuse and finding strength after trauma. Instagram stories with quotes about narcissistic partners and controlling behavior. The comments were predictable. "You deserve so much better, queen." "His loss, babe." "Men are trash." But then something interesting happened. My friend Derek, who tends bar at Avalon, the club Natalie claimed to be at, commented, "Weird, I worked that whole night and didn't see you there once." The post disappeared within an hour. Day 3, today, I got an unexpected call from Tom, one of my groomsmen. "Yo Malcolm, you need to know something. Remember Craig's bachelor party last month?" "Yeah?" Natalie was there, not at the party but at the same resort, with some dude. My blood went cold. "What?" "I saw her at the pool bar. Tried to say hi but she acted like she didn't see me. She was with this guy, real cozy. I thought maybe it was a cousin or something." "Why didn't you tell me?" "Bro, I didn't want to start drama without being sure, but now that you've called off the wedding, figured you should know." I sat with that for a minute. The weekend she said she was at a spa retreat with the girls. What did the guy look like? Tall, beard, drove a white BMW. That's all I remember. Something about that BMW comment stuck with me. Our apartment building has visitor logs for the parking garage. I'd never checked them before because why would I? Went to the security office, asked to see logs from the past month, and there it was. White BMW, visiting our unit multiple times when I was at work. Always left before I got home. License plate traced back to someone named Garrett. Looked him up on social media. Natalie's work friend who I'd met exactly once at her company holiday party. The one she said was basically like a brother to her. The current situation. As I'm typing this, Natalie is still claiming she's the victim of my trust issues. Her family is split, Jenna's team Natalie, but their brother Mike reached out to say he always thought something was off. I've got a consultation with a lawyer tomorrow about the ring, worth $12K. Garrett's LinkedIn shows he's in a relationship as of 2 months ago. Wonder who with. Tom sent me 2 more photos he found from that resort weekend. Natalie and Garrett at dinner. The best part? Natalie doesn't know I know about Garrett yet. She's still playing the "you didn't trust me enough" card, not realizing I've got receipts showing exactly why I shouldn't have trusted her. But here's what kills me. Even now, she won't just admit it, won't just say, yes, I was with someone else. She'd rather paint me as controlling and paranoid than take responsibility. Tomorrow I'm meeting with the lawyer and then sending all the evidence to her parents. Not to be petty, but because Sandra keeps calling me unreasonable and she deserves to know what her daughter really is. We'll update after the lawyer meeting. Something tells me Natalie's about to learn that actions have consequences. Update 2. The mask has completely fallen off. Once Natalie realized I knew about Garrett, she went from victim to villain real quick. Met with my lawyer, Rebecca, who specializes in this stuff. Showed her everything, the ring receipt, the text where Natalie admitted to lying, the parking logs, the resort photos. Rebecca, the ring is yours, clear cut. Conditional gift law in our state is very straightforward. But this Garrett situation, has she been living with you while seeing him? Me, apparently. Document everything. If she tries to claim any kind of financial support or shared property rights, this will shut it down fast. After the lawyer meeting, I sent Sandra, Natalie's mom, an email with just the facts. The parking garage logs showing Garrett's visits, the resort photos from Tom, screenshot of Natalie admitting she lied about where she was, Derek's comment about her not being at Avalon. Subject line: since you think I'm being unreasonable. Sandra called within an hour, different tone entirely. Malcolm, is this real? Every bit of it. She told us you were controlling, that you wouldn't let her have friends. Garrett's more than a friend, Sandra. Long silence. Then, I'm so sorry, we didn't raise her to be this way. I know. The ring, she's demanding we help her sue you for it. She can try, won't win, Sandra sighed. I'll talk to her father. This is unacceptable. This is where it gets wild. Natalie apparently didn't tell Garrett the wedding was off. He found out when his girlfriend, oh yeah, he had one too, saw Natalie's surviving abuse posts and asked him about it. Garrett panicked and threw Natalie under the entire bus fleet. Sent me a DM on Instagram. Bro, I'm sorry. She told me you guys were already broken up and just living together for convenience. I didn't know about the wedding. My girl is losing it. Can you please tell her nothing physical happened? I didn't respond, but I did screenshot it. Day 4. Natalie's carefully crafted victim narrative started falling apart. 1. Garrett's girlfriend Megan went nuclear on social media, posted screenshots of texts between Garrett and Natalie. Nothing explicit, but definitely not just friends. 2. One of Natalie's coworkers commented on the drama, mentioning how Natalie would joke about her work husband all the time. Thrika, remember her from the alibi? Finally cracked and admitted. Natalie asked her to cover, but she refused, which is why Natalie had to lie about being with her. When Natalie realized her story was falling apart, she tried a new approach. Blackmail. Got a text from a burner number. I have photos and videos from our relationship that you probably don't want public. Give me the ring and we can end this peacefully. I laughed. Actually laughed out loud. Me. Go ahead, post them. I'll post the security footage of Garrett leaving our apartment. You wouldn't dare. Me, try me. This is revenge porn. No, this is evidence of you cheating. Big difference. Radio silence after that. By day 6, Natalie's family was in full crisis mode. Sandra and her husband Doug demanded Natalie move back home. Jenna finally admitted she knew about Garrett, but didn't think it was her place to tell. Mike, the brother, sent me a beer via delivery app with a note: you dodged a missile, not a bullet. But Natalie wasn't done. She tried one more play. Yesterday morning, got a call from Sandra, crying. Malcolm, Natalie says she's pregnant. My heart stopped for exactly 1 second. Then my brain kicked in. When did she find out? This morning, she says it's yours. Sandra, we haven't been intimate in over 2 months. She said she wanted to wait for the wedding to make it special again. Dead silence. 2 months? Ask her to show you a test. A real one, not a photo. Click. An hour later, Doug, her father, texted, "She's not pregnant. We're handling this. I'm sorry for everything my daughter has put you through." As of today, Natalie is living with her parents under what sounds like house arrest. Garrett is single, Megan dumped him, and trying to do damage control at work. The ring is safely in my bank deposit box, awaiting resale. I've had to block 47 different numbers. Natalie used to try contacting me. Her surviving abuse posts have been deleted after the backlash. I'm apartment hunting because too many memories here. The most pathetic part? Even after everything, the lies, the cheating, the fake pregnancy, the blackmail attempts, she still won't just admit wrongdoing. Her latest story, according to Mike, is that I drove her to seek comfort elsewhere because I was emotionally unavailable. I was emotionally unavailable? I was planning our wedding while she was sneaking around with Garrett. But you know what? I'm done caring about her justifications. Done trying to understand her logic. Done with all of it. Next update will be the final one. Going to cover what happens with the ring and the apartment. Spoiler alert, karma's not done with Natalie yet. Final update. The conclusion to this saga is more satisfying than I ever could have imagined. Karma came through with a vengeance. Sold the ring 2 weeks ago. Got $9,500 for it. Took a loss, but better than having it sit in a box. Used part of the money to pay off the wedding vendor losses and put the rest toward a down payment on a new place. But here's where it gets interesting. The jewelry store manager recognized the ring when I brought it in. "Oh, this is the piece that young lady was asking about last week." "What young lady?" "Brunette, about this tall, said her fiancé bought it here and she wanted to know about upgrading the setting." Natalie. She'd gone to the store trying to claim the ring, probably hoping they'd have some record of her being involved in the purchase. They didn't, because she wasn't. Remember how Garrett threw Natalie under the bus? Well, she found out and decided to return the favor. She sent his workplace an anonymous tip about him engaging in inappropriate relationships with clients. See, Garrett's a personal trainer at a high-end gym. Natalie was technically a client when they started their thing. The gym has a strict policy about trainer-client relationships. Garrett got fired. But that's not even the best part. Turns out Natalie wasn't his only special client. 2 other women came forward with similar stories. Dude had a whole rotation going. Natalie thought she was special, but she was just Tuesday and Thursday, apparently. I found a great new place, smaller but in a better area, closer to work. Moving day was last weekend. As I was loading boxes, who shows up? Natalie, with her dad. Doug looked embarrassed. "She insisted on trying to talk to you one more time." Natalie stepped forward. "Malcolm, please, 5 minutes." "No. I made mistakes, okay? But we had 4 years. And you threw them away for a guy who had you scheduled between his 3 p.m. and 6 p.m. clients." That hit home. Her face crumpled. "That's not?" "I didn't know." "You didn't know because you didn't want to know. Just like I didn't want to know you were lying until it was shoved in my face." Doug put his hand on her shoulder. "Natalie, enough." The man said no. But she wasn't done. "What about my stuff? I have things here. Everything of yours was in the boxes the movers took. Anything left is mine." "My grandmother's necklace, the one in the jewelry box? Already gave it to your mom last week. Check your facts before you lie." Doug physically turned her around and walked her away. Mouthed sorry to me as they left. The fallout in our social circle has been brutal for Natalie. 1. She got uninvited from 2 weddings after the brides worried about her causing drama. 2. Our mutual friend group basically chose me, not because I asked, but because she lied to all of them too. 3. Her book club kicked her out after she tried to seduce another member's husband. Yeah, she didn't learn. Even Jenna, her ride-or-die sister, posted about learning to recognize toxic people, even in family. Natalie worked in HR, which makes this even more ironic. Word about her fake pregnancy claim and blackmail attempt got around. Small industry. She was quietly let go for culture fit issues. Last I heard, she was working retail and living in her childhood bedroom at 27. But here's the absolute chef's kiss moment. Last week, I ran into Megan, Garrett's ex, at a coffee shop. We chatted, laughed about our mutual ex problems. She showed me something incredible. Turns out, when Natalie was trying to win Garrett from Megan, she'd badmouthed me constantly. Megan had screenshots of Natalie saying, I was boring in bed, I was too cheap while I was saving for our wedding, I was probably gay because I didn't want to go to strip clubs. She was only marrying me for stability. Megan, I should have sent these to you earlier. I thought she was just venting, but now we know who she really is. We exchanged numbers. Not romantically, we're both pretty burnt on relationships right now. But it's nice having someone who understands the level of deception we dealt with. 3 days ago, one last unknown number. Malcolm, this is Natalie. I know you hate me, but I need you to know I never meant for things to go this far. I was confused and made bad choices. I loved you. I really did. I just got caught up in the attention and excitement. Garrett made me feel wanted in a way you didn't anymore. I'm not asking for forgiveness, just understanding. I'm in therapy now, working on myself. I hope someday you can see I'm not a bad person, just someone who made bad choices. Take care. I read it twice, almost felt bad for her. Almost. Then I remembered the lies, the gaslighting about trust, the cheating, the fake pregnancy, the blackmail, trying to steal my TV. I deleted the text and blocked the number. It's been a month since I called off the wedding. I'm in my new place, which feels like home already. Started therapy myself, not because of trauma, but to understand how I missed the red flags for so long. Work's going great. Turns out I'm way more productive when I'm not stressed about my relationship. Hit the gym regularly, reconnected with old friends, even started learning Spanish. Why not? Dating? Not even close to ready, but I'm okay with that. Learning to be happy alone is important. The wedding would have been next Saturday. Instead of saying I do to someone who couldn't even tell me where she was at 4 a.m., I'll be on a fishing trip with my boys. Same guys who were going to be groomsmen. We turned the bachelor party weekend into a freedom celebration trip. 1. Trust your gut. If something feels off, it probably is. 2. When someone shows you who they are, believe them. 3. If you really loved me is manipulation 101. 4. Actions have consequences, even if they take time to arrive. 5. Being alone is better than being with someone who doesn't respect you. To everyone who said I was too harsh, where would I be if I'd trusted her completely, married to a cheater who was already planning her next lie? To everyone who said I'd regret this, the only thing I regret is not seeing the truth sooner. And to Natalie, if you're reading this from your twin bed at your parents' house, you were right about one thing. If I really loved you, I would have trusted you. Good thing I loved myself more than I loved the lie you were selling. Thanks for following this journey, Reddit. I'm closing this chapter and starting a new one, a boring, drama-free, honest one. And honestly, it feels amazing.